Have you ever wondered why certain situations seem to repeat themselves in your life, as if there were an invisible script guiding your every step? Why do you sometimes feel like you were born for something greater but can't quite pinpoint what it is? Emmanuel, a spirit who worked alongside the medium Chico Xavier, reveals to us that each of us carries a unique spiritual code, a kind of inner map that defines our mission on Earth and connects us to a deeper purpose. This code is not just an abstract idea. It is present in every choice, every encounter, every challenge life throws at us. Stay with me until the end, because what you'll discover now could transform the way you see your own journey. Emmanuel, renowned for the clarity and depth of his psychographed messages, has always emphasized that our existence is not the result of chance. Through the words of Chico Xavier, he shows us that there is a greater plan for each person, a set of signs and inclinations that, when understood, reveal the path we should follow. What many don't realize is that this spiritual code is not limited to great achievements or extraordinary moments. It manifests itself in the details of everyday life, in the simple decisions and choices that shape our lives silently but powerfully. Have you ever experienced this? That feeling that everything fits together, but at the same time something seems missing? This is a reflection of your code trying to communicate with you, asking for attention, asking for alignment. And the most fascinating thing is that this spiritual code isn't hidden and complicated. It manifests itself through subtle signs, intuitions that arise at the right time, challenges that seem difficult but are actually opportunities for growth. Emmanuel reminds us, with authority spanning decades, that recognizing this code is the first step to living a life aligned with your true purpose. It's not just a matter of abstract spirituality. It's a practical tool for understanding why you react the way you do, why you feel drawn to certain situations or people, and even why certain doors close before you find the right path. Today, you will begin to realize that everything that seemed confusing or meaningless can take on new meaning. What you discover now may surprise you because we are about to delve into teachings that transcend time. Teachings that showed Chico, Xavier, and millions of people around the world how to identify and interpret their spiritual code. Imagine if it were possible to decipher the signals life sends you daily, aligning your choices and actions with something much greater, something that resonates with your deepest essence. Believe me, you are not alone in this quest. We all have a code to discover, and understanding it can open doors that previously seemed impossible to navigate. And here's the most intriguing point. Many people spend their entire lives without noticing the signals their own spiritual code sends. They live in repetitive cycles, feeling that something is off, that there's no meaning, that life could be more fulfilling. But Emmanuel teaches us that this awareness is the first step. How about starting to consciously pay attention to the small clues that appear in your daily life? Stay with me, because in the next few moments, we'll explore together how this spiritual code reveals itself, how it influences your decisions, and how you can begin to recognize the signs that indicate your true path. Prepare to discover something that, until now, many never imagined possible, but which is within each of us. Ready to be understood and experienced intensely? Have you ever felt, at some point in your life, that there's something deeper guiding your choices? As if there were a silent force trying to show you the right path. Perhaps you've experienced that feeling of being lost, of asking yourself, why am I here? Or what is my true purpose? Even when everything seems to be going normally, Emmanuel, a spirit who worked side by side with Chico Xavier, reveals to us that we all carry within us a spiritual code, an invisible map that defines our mission on Earth and connects us with unique talents, challenges, and opportunities. Stay with me until the end, because what you'll discover now could transform the way you perceive your own life. The concept of spiritual code, as Emmanuel explains, is much more than an abstract or philosophical idea. It is an internal guide, which manifests itself in different ways in our daily lives, our choices, and even our difficulties. Each person has signs, inclinations, and challenges that indicate their path. And understanding these signs is essential to aligning our existence with our destined purpose. Perhaps you've never stopped to notice these details, but they are there, waiting for you to pay attention. Have you ever experienced this? That feeling of being faced with an opportunity, a decision, or an important encounter, without knowing exactly why, but feeling that something inside you recognizes that situation as right? Imagine, for example, someone who has always felt drawn to helping others, but never knew how to turn that desire into concrete action. Emmanuel shows us that this kind of inclination is a reflection of that person's spiritual code, signaling that their mission involves serving, teaching, or supporting. When that person begins to pay attention to these small clues, their life begins to transform. That restlessness that once seemed like a problem becomes an internal compass, guiding decisions that truly resonate with their deeper purpose. Imagine living each day knowing exactly what your mission is and how you can make a difference in the world, not just for yourself, but for everyone around you. The spiritual code also helps us understand the challenges that arise along our path. Nothing in life happens by chance, and the obstacles we face are often opportunities for growth. Tests that show us whether we are aligned with our true path. Emmanuel teaches us that recognizing these lessons is a way to decipher our code, recognize our strengths, and discover how to transform difficulties into learning and personal growth. Every experience, every person who crosses our path, every decision we make carries a message. It's a sign that we are or are not following our purpose. And it's precisely this realization that can change everything. When we begin to pay close attention to the signs, inclinations, and challenges, we begin to see life more clearly, coherently, and meaningfully. You begin to realize that certain situations are not mere accidents, but parts of a grand plan that aims to align you with your true mission. Stay with me, because in the next few minutes, we'll explore how to identify these signs, how to recognize your spiritual code, and most importantly, how to begin living in alignment with what Emmanuel revealed to us as our true purpose on earth. Have you ever wondered what your life would be like if you could decipher the signs the universe sends you every day? Understanding exactly what your mission on earth is? That feeling that something inside you knows the path, but you still can't see it clearly, is no coincidence. Emmanuel, the spirit who worked alongside Chico Xavier, teaches us that each of us has a unique spiritual code. And recognizing this code is the key to living fully and aligned with our purpose. Stay with me until the end, because what you'll discover now may surprise you and transform the way you approach every decision, every challenge, and every opportunity in your life. Identifying your spiritual code today isn't something distant or merely theoretical. It manifests itself in very concrete and subtle ways. Through your intuition, the passions that spark your enthusiasm, the natural talents you possess, and even the recurring challenges that seem to repeat themselves in your life. Have you ever experienced situations that repeat themselves as if testing your persistence, your courage, or your ability to choose? These patterns aren't coincidences. They are signals from your spiritual code trying to communicate which direction you should follow. Emmanuel and Chico Xavier taught us that when we learn to listen to these signals, we can consciously align our actions with our true path. And this is precisely what makes all the difference between living automatically and living according to our true purpose. Imagine realizing that every difficulty you face, every fear that arises, every obstacle at work or in relationships actually carries a message about your mission. It's not just theory. It's something you can apply right now to align your life with your true purpose. The spiritual code is like an internal compass that guides your decisions, helping you choose paths that resonate with your deepest essence. It's by paying attention to your natural talents, what sparks your passion, and what you feel you need to face to grow that you begin to decipher this message in today's world, full of pressures, distractions, and constant choices. Recognizing your spiritual code becomes even more essential. It not only reveals your purpose, but also empowers you to overcome fears and make more informed choices in your career, relationships, and personal development. Emmanuel always emphasized that understanding these spiritual messages allows you to live with greater clarity, balance, and meaning. And Chico Xavier, with his decades of experience in psychography, showed that it is possible, through paying attention to the spirit's signals, to transform an ordinary life into one guided by spiritual wisdom, discovering hidden talents and opportunities that previously seemed impossible. And the most interesting thing is that these discoveries don't require special skills or extraordinary experiences. They are within everyone's reach. Just learn to observe the signs of intuition, pay attention to recurring challenges, and value the passions that make your heart sing. Every detail, every encounter, every choice carries clues to your spiritual code. Stay with me, because in the next few moments, we'll explore practical ways to identify these signs, interpret their meaning, and begin applying this knowledge to your daily life, opening doors to a more conscious, fulfilled existence. Connected to your true purpose, have you ever stopped to think about what your life would be like if every decision, every action, and every thought were completely aligned with your true purpose? Perhaps you've felt at some point that you could do more, that your life could have a deeper meaning, but you weren't sure how to get there. Emmanuel, the spirit who worked side by side with Chico Xavier, reveals to us that there is a unique spiritual code within each person. And when we begin to apply it in real life, even in the simplest everyday actions, our existence gains a new dimension of meaning. Stay with me until the end, because what you're about to discover now can transform the way you view every challenge and opportunity that lies ahead. Applying the spiritual code doesn't mean radical changes or impossible decisions. It's about small, conscious actions that, when practiced regularly, can realign your life with your mission. It's about recognizing the moments when you can act with more presence, when you can listen to your intuition before making an important decision, or simply dedicate time to daily reflection on your goals and priorities. Have you ever had those days when everything seems confusing, but a simple gesture or a wise choice completely changes your perspective? This is the spiritual code manifesting, asking you to perceive and act according to your essence. Imagine, for example, incorporating moments of meditation, reflection on your choices, or small acts of service into your routine. No matter how simple they may seem, these actions serve as connecting threads to your purpose, helping to bring clarity, balance, and direction to your life. Emmanuel and Chico Xavier taught us that this conscious attention to our actions is key to identifying where we are aligned with our spiritual path and where opportunities for evolution still exist. Every gesture, every choice, every challenge faced consciously becomes a step toward fulfilling the mission you've carried since birth. When you begin to live according to your spiritual code, you realize that obstacles cease to be mere problems and become opportunities for learning and growth. Each difficulty presents itself as an invitation to evolve. Each challenging situation carries within it a valuable lesson that brings us closer to our true purpose. And the most powerful thing is realizing that this process doesn't require major external changes. It begins within you, in the way you think, feel, and act in each moment. It's a silent but profound transformation that alters the way you see life and connect with everything around you, and the most inspiring thing of all is that this discovery is a personal journey. There's no single path or rigid manual to follow. Each person has their own spiritual code, unique signs, and specific challenges. And everyone has the potential to evolve when they begin to pay attention to these messages. Stay with me, because in the next few moments, we'll explore concrete examples of how to apply this code in real life, how to interpret the signs that arise daily, and how small changes can generate powerful transformations, leading you to live with more purpose, meaning, and alignment with your deepest essence. And as you reflect on how to apply your spiritual code in real life, it's interesting to realize that this journey becomes even richer when we share experiences and learnings. If this topic resonates with you, leave a comment below about what has touched you most so far. What insight you felt you could apply to your daily life, or even that moment when you realized a sign of your own purpose. Your participation is not just a way to express your ideas. It's also an opportunity to connect with others going through similar experiences, creating a community where everyone can grow and inspire each other. And if you feel like these messages are awakening something within you, how about liking the video? This simple gesture helps strengthen the channel, allowing more people to access this type of content and discover their spiritual code, just as you are beginning to do now. Each like is a way of saying, I want to continue learning, evolving, and connecting with this knowledge It's like a sign that we are building together a space for reflection, growth, and spiritual connection. And of course, if you haven't subscribed yet, this is the perfect time to make sure you don't miss the upcoming videos, which will delve even deeper into these discoveries about your mission on Earth. Subscribing to the channel means being part of a community that values knowledge, reflection, and personal growth. And your presence here is what allows these messages to continue reaching more and more people who need to hear, understand, and apply these teachings in their own lives. It's a circle of learning, sharing, and transformation that grows with every comment, every like, and every subscription. So, as you begin to notice the first signs of your spiritual code, and consider how small actions can transform your routine, leave a comment, like the video, and subscribe to follow this journey with us. Your participation is what keeps this space alive, relevant, and able to touch more hearts. And now, let's move forward, because there is still much to discover about how to live fully in accordance with your purpose. Transforming each challenge into a learning experience and each moment into an opportunity for growth. Have you ever wondered why you are exactly where you are now? Why do certain choices, encounters, and even coincidences seem to repeat themselves, as if there were an invisible force guiding every step of your life? Perhaps you've felt, at some point, that there's something greater behind every situation, something that goes far beyond routine, everyday problems, or the decisions you think you control. Emmanuel, a spirit who works side by side with Chico Xavier, reveals to us that each person carries within them a unique spiritual code, an invisible map that defines their mission on Earth, and that, when understood, can completely transform the way we view our existence. It's not just a philosophical or spiritual idea, but a practical guide that influences our choices, reveals talents, and challenges our limitations in subtle and powerful ways. For those who follow Chico Xavier's mediumship, Emmanuel is an authority that transcends decades. His psychographed messages are not just loose words. They are teachings that carry wisdom, revelations about life, purpose, and how we can align with what's deepest within us. He shows us that nothing in life happens by chance, and that every obstacle, every opportunity, every feeling of restlessness carries clues about the path we should follow. Here's a provocation. What if all those difficulties you faced in recent months or years were actually signs that you're approaching something essential for your personal and spiritual growth? The spiritual code, as Emmanuel explains, works almost like a secret language between your essence and life. It manifests itself through intuitions, desires, passions, natural talents, and even recurring challenges that insist on appearing. Imagine realizing that those patterns that once seemed like coincidences or random difficulties are actually messages from your own spirit, trying to guide every decision, every move you make. It's fascinating to think that this same consciousness, this same code you carry, has influenced millions of people throughout history, helping them reconnect with their inner truth and make decisions aligned with their mission. And if you stop to reflect, you'll see that the spiritual code isn't hidden in complicated formulas or inaccessible teachings. It reveals itself in the simplest details, that talent you've always had but haven't yet explored. The inner calling that appears when you think about helping someone, the feeling of discomfort that arises when you're off your path or when you make decisions that don't resonate with your essence. Emmanuel explains that recognizing these signs is essential to living in a way that's consistent with your purpose. It's not just about spirituality in the abstract. It's about real transformation, about changing your mindset, your attitudes, and even your relationships, so that everything begins to align with who you truly are. And the beauty of this is that the impact isn't just internal. It's reflected in your practical life, in how you handle important decisions, in your clarity when facing challenges, and in your ability to see opportunities that previously went unnoticed. It's as if an invisible curtain has been lifted, allowing you to see behind the scenes of your own journey, understanding the role of each situation, each encounter, and each choice. Emmanuel reinforces that this perception is an invitation to continuous reflection, attentive observation, and the understanding that every detail of life has meaning. Each experience carries learning, and each difficulty contains a revelation that can lead you to align with your spiritual code. Now, I want to delve even deeper into this topic, because understanding the spiritual code is not just a theoretical exercise. It's an opportunity to explore the hidden truth within you and perceive how it connects with the world around you. When you begin to see these connections, you understand that every gesture, every decision, every thought can be a piece of a larger puzzle that reveals your mission and your potential for transformation. It's fascinating to realize that, even in the simplest moments, there are signs that point the way, that point to talents, that signal choices you haven't yet considered. And it is precisely in this realization that the true journey begins, the discovery that your life is not random, but guided by a purpose that you can learn to recognize, interpret, and live consciously. If this content resonates with you, comment below, "I'm on this journey too," and share in the comments that feeling, that insight, or that small discovery you've had when you realize that something bigger is guiding your steps. Have you ever wondered why certain situations seem to repeat themselves in your life, as if there were a hidden logic guiding your every step, but you simply can't see it right away? Perhaps you felt that strange sensation that you were born for something greater, but that this something is still hidden, waiting for you to discover how to access it. Emmanuel, a spirit who worked side by side with Chico Xavier, reveals to us that within each person there is a spiritual code, a kind of invisible map that guides our mission on Earth, reveals our talents, indicates challenges, and above all, connects us with the purpose we need to fulfill. Stay with me, because what you're about to discover now isn't just an abstract reflection. It's a tool capable of transforming the way you view your decisions, your relationships, and even your daily life. The spiritual code, as Emmanuel explains, is not something distant or inaccessible. It manifests concretely in our lives, often in subtle ways that go unnoticed, through intuition, passions that spark enthusiasm, talents that have always existed within us, and even repetitive patterns or challenges that insist on appearing. Have you ever felt that certain situations keep repeating themselves, almost as if they were testing your patience, your courage, or your ability to choose? These patterns are not mere coincidences. They are clear signs of your spiritual code trying to communicate, showing which paths deserve attention and which decisions are aligned with your essence. It's fascinating to think that every difficulty, every surprise, or every moment of doubt contains a message, a revelation about who you are and what your mission is. Imagine, for example, a person who has always felt drawn to teaching, guiding, or helping others, but has never found a practical way to put this into action. Emmanuel teaches us that these inclinations are not accidental. They are clues from the spiritual code, indicating that this person's mission involves sharing knowledge, serving as an inspiration, or supporting the growth of others. By paying attention to these signs, life ceases to be a flow of random events and becomes a journey filled with meaning, where each decision connects with a greater purpose. Imagine living each day knowing exactly what your mission is and how you can make a difference in the world, not only for yourself, but for everyone around you. This is the essence of living aligned with the spiritual code. The most interesting thing is that the spiritual code is not limited to obvious talents or great achievements. It also manifests itself in the simplest choices, in the way we react to difficult situations, in the way we relate to those close to us, in the intuition that suddenly arises regarding an important decision. Emmanuel and Chico Xavier remind us that recognizing these signs is essential to aligning our actions with the purpose we carry since before birth. Every talent, every natural inclination, and every recurring challenge are indicators that help decipher this code. And each time we are able to perceive these messages, we gain clarity, confidence, and a deeper sense of direction. And the transformation isn't limited to the internal plane. When you begin to identify the signs of your spiritual code, your choices gain a real impact on the world around you. Relationships become more conscious. Professional decisions begin to reflect your true essence, and even small daily actions, such as acts of kindness or moments of reflection, take on meaning. It's as if you're accessing the backstage of your own life, realizing that nothing is by chance and that everything is intelligently connected, even if you can't yet fully understand it. This realization brings a sense of freedom and responsibility at the same time, because you now understand that you are a co-author of your own story, capable of transforming patterns and creating a journey that reflects the truth of your essence. Now, I want to delve even deeper into this topic, because understanding the spiritual code isn't just about recognizing signs, it's about learning to interpret them and apply this awareness in a practical way. When you begin to perceive patterns, talents, challenges, and inclinations, a new realm of possibilities opens up. Every detail of daily life, every encounter or choice, becomes an opportunity to align your mindset, thoughts, and actions with the purpose Emmanuel taught us to identify. It's a discovery that requires attention, reflection, and courage, because signs often don't come easily and require sensitivity to be understood. With each moment of awareness, you move closer to living authentically, transforming the hidden truth within you into concrete actions that impact your own life and the lives of those around you. This journey is personal and unique, and even though it may seem complex, each small step you take to recognize and apply your spiritual code generates profound transformation. It's not just about seeking external answers, but about accessing an inner wisdom that has always been present, awaiting your attention and understanding. It's like discovering a secret map within yourself, where each clue reveals a little more about the path, the meaning, and the mission you must fulfill. Each intuition followed, each passion explored, each challenge faced consciously is a piece that fits together, building a life narrative that is clearer, more coherent, and more aligned with your essence. If anything, your feeling so far makes sense. Comment below, "I'm on this journey too," and share in the comments that feeling, insight, or discovery you've already realized about your own spiritual code. Have you ever wondered why some choices seem more natural than others? Why certain people enter your life, or why certain challenges insist on recurring? There's a hidden truth that often goes unnoticed. Something that Emmanuel, a spirit who worked side by side with Chico Xavier, clearly teaches us. Each person carries a unique spiritual code. And it is precisely this code that indicates the path we should follow, revealing talents, passions, inclinations, and even the obstacles that arise on our journey. It's not just theory. It's something you can apply right now to align your life with your true purpose, transforming small decisions into opportunities that truly matter. When you start paying attention, you realize that every detail of daily life, every intuition, and every recurring pattern has meaning. And it is in this understanding that lies the ability to transform not only your mindset, but your entire life experience. Intuition, for example, is one of the clearest ways to perceive your spiritual code. That sudden feeling of knowing which decision to make, that unexpected insight that arises at the right moment, is no mere coincidence. Emmanuel and Chico Xavier show us that intuition is like a silent guide, always pointing to what most resonates with our essence. And it's curious how we often ignore these signs because they seem too simple or out of context. But in fact, they carry profound revelations about who we truly are and the impact we can have on the world. By beginning to observe and trust your intuition, you initiate a direct connection with your purpose, allowing seemingly small choices to generate significant consequences, both in your life and in the lives of those who cross your path. Another powerful sign of the spiritual code is recurring challenges. How many times have you found yourself facing the same situation or type of difficulty as if you were being constantly tested? It's not punishment, but learning. These patterns are opportunities for self-discovery, for developing resilience, and for understanding which skills you need to strengthen to fulfill your mission. Emmanuel emphasizes that recognizing these challenges as part of your spiritual code is a way to see behind the scenes of your own life, realizing that each obstacle carries a valuable lesson and that each conscious choice transforms your journey into something more meaningful. When we look at our difficulties from this perspective, we stop seeing them as barriers and begin to recognize them as paths to growth and evolution. Passions and natural talents are also clear indicators of your spiritual code. Everything that sparks genuine enthusiasm or that you feel effortless about is connected to your deepest essence. You may not have explored these gifts yet, but Emmanuel reminds us that they are central pieces of the puzzle of your mission. When we begin to invest in these talents, we not only feel more fulfilled, but also can positively impact the lives of those around us. It is in this alignment of skill, passion, and purpose that true transformation emerges, capable of generating a lasting impact and leading us to more conscious decisions that are consistent with who we truly are. And it's impressive to see how this process applies to modern life. Overcoming fears, making important career decisions, dealing with complex relationships, and managing everyday choices becomes easier when we understand that all of this can be connected to our spiritual code. Emmanuel and Chico Xavier demonstrate through decades of experience and wisdom that awareness of these signals not only guides our actions, but also strengthens the mindset necessary to face the world with greater confidence, clarity, and alignment with our purpose. Each intuition followed, each challenge faced, and each talent explored contributes to building a fuller, more conscious, and meaningful life, transforming ordinary moments into opportunities for growth and learning. Now I want to delve even deeper into this topic, because identifying your spiritual code is just the beginning. The next step is understanding how to interpret these signals in a practical way, how to transform insights into actions that truly make a difference in your routine, and how to align each decision with your true essence. It is in this process that the journey ceases to be just a sequence of events and becomes a path of true transformation, where each choice takes on meaning and each experience connects with the mission you were born to fulfill. Discovering your spiritual code is, in practice, learning to see behind the scenes of your own life, perceiving patterns, revelations, and opportunities that were present all along, but which often only become visible when you begin to observe with attention and awareness. If you feel like this content is touching something within you, write in the comments. I'm on this journey too, and share that insight or feeling that came to you while reflecting on the signs that indicate your own spiritual code. Have you ever noticed how small changes can have a huge impact on your life? Often much greater than we imagine. It's fascinating when we begin to observe our routines closely, noticing details that previously went unnoticed, and realize that every gesture, every decision, and even every thought carries the potential for transformation. Emmanuel, a spirit who worked side by side with Chico Xavier, teaches us that applying our spiritual code to real life doesn't require major external revolutions. It's actually about conscious attitudes, small but meaningful choices that align what we feel, think, and do with our true mission. It's in this daily alignment that the journey ceases to be just about surviving the days and becomes about creating a life that truly matters, where every challenge becomes an opportunity and every decision takes on meaning. Imagine, for example, starting your day with moments of reflection or meditation, dedicating a few minutes to reconnecting with yourself and your purpose. It may seem simple, but these moments are like invisible threads connecting your mind, emotions, and spirit, allowing you to perceive signs that previously went unnoticed, intuitions to emerge more clearly, and important decisions to begin to become more natural. It's as if you're opening the curtains of your own life, observing the invisible thread that guides your choices, and understanding the impact each action has not only on you, but on everything around you. Each moment of conscious attention is a step toward transforming an ordinary routine into an experience charged with meaning and purpose. Another powerful way to apply the spiritual code is through small acts of service to others. Emmanuel always emphasized that our mission often manifests itself in the way we positively impact the lives of others, whether through simple gestures, words of support, acts of kindness, or practical help. When we begin to act with this awareness, we realize that transformation doesn't just happen internally. It's reflected in our relationships, in how we are perceived, and in the energy we put out into the world. Each action aligned with our spiritual code generates a multiplier effect, a silent but profound impact that influences not only our own growth, but also the evolution of those around us. And, of course, applying the spiritual code in real life also involves observing our passions and talents, exploring them in a practical way. Perhaps you have a natural talent for creating, teaching, leading, or healing, but haven't yet found a way to put it into practice. Emmanuel's proposal is simple and straightforward. Recognize these gifts, experiment, test, dedicate time to cultivating them, and see how this connects to your mission. Each small achievement, each step you take toward exploring your potential, increases clarity about your purpose, strengthens your mindset, and opens new possibilities for more conscious and impactful decisions. The journey then becomes not just about discovering who you are, but about living it tangibly, transforming dreams into actions and intentions into results. And it's impressive how the spiritual code influences our ability to overcome fears, face challenges, and make decisions more in line with our essence. Each obstacle ceases to be a random problem and becomes a learning opportunity. Each challenging situation is a piece of the puzzle that reveals a little more about who we are and what role we were born to play in this world. With each experience faced mindfully, the journey becomes clearer, more meaningful, and more powerful. Emmanuel and Chico Xavier remind us that this discovery has no time limit or rules. It is a personal, unique journey, where each person has the potential to evolve, transform their life, and align with what truly matters. Now I want to delve even deeper into this topic, because understanding the spiritual code is only the first step. True transformation happens when we begin to apply these insights to our daily lives. When every decision, every gesture, and every choice begins to reflect our mission. Even in the most mundane or unexpected situations, it is through this continuous exercise of attention, reflection, and action that the impact becomes real and visible, that our mindset changes, that the hidden depths of life are revealed, and that we can experience the feeling of living according to what we were destined to achieve. It is an opportunity to explore, with courage and awareness, the potential that has always existed within you, realizing how small daily changes can generate extraordinary results and profound revelations about your own essence. If you're feeling this connection and see the value in starting to observe and apply your spiritual code, comment below, "This makes sense to me," and share in the comments that moment when you felt a small change that had a big impact on your life. And if you've made it this far, it's a sign that this message truly resonated with you, that you were ready to reflect on your spiritual code and how to apply it in real life. I invite you to continue this journey with me. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss future content that brings insights, reflections, and revelations capable of transforming your way of thinking, feeling, and acting. And take the opportunity to leave a comment in the comments that shows you made it to the end. Something like, "I'm with you until the end," or "This message was for me." Because I love knowing who is truly following along. And this exchange is what gives meaning to all this work. If any reflection or example sparked something in you during the video, click like now. It's a way to reinforce the connection we've created, to show that these ideas are impacting your life. And it also helps keep this type of content always available to those who need to find these messages. Every simple gesture, every interaction, strengthens this community and keeps alive the transformative energy that Emmanuel and Chico Xavier taught us to value and to continue exploring this universe of discovery and learning. There's a video here that goes even deeper into this topic, offering new perspectives on how to identify signs, interpret challenges, and live aligned with your purpose. Click through and stay with me there, because the journey is just beginning, and there are many more revelations waiting to transform your life.